So these are without a doubt the laziest ways that you can start a business with Canva AI right now. And I'll be honest, when I first heard about these, I really thought there was no way that these actually work. But after digging deeper, I was proven wrong. Now, I'm not promising you any results or that you're going to become a millionaire or make a lot of money overnight, but I think with a lot of hard work up front, these could end up being some of the laziest businesses that you can run with Canva. So let's not waste any more time. We'll jump in. I'll show you what all 5 of these businesses are and how to get started with them step by step. Okay, so for this first one, we're going to use a very simple but very powerful tool inside of Canva that will allow you to create an entire social media calendar in a matter of minutes. And you'll be able to run this for local small businesses in your area or even ones that you connect with online because they don't actually want to run social media themselves. So first you want to log into your Canva account and then click on the top left here where it says create, and then click right here where it says sheets. And you're looking for one of the social media calendars. There's a few of them. It doesn't actually matter which one that you use. So for instance, I'm going to select this one right here that's sort of pink and says social media calendar. So let's click on that. That will then open up this template and allow us to use this. So when you get a client, first thing you want to do is put the name of the client up here, the name of the business. So let's say it's Paul's Pet Store. I can put that in right there. And what you can also do is change up or delete any of these columns that you don't need. So what are these columns? Well, let's take a quick look. So right here we have the asset column. This will show us any of the images that are made for the social media posts. We have a column here that says if the ad or the post has been approved or not, the due date, the publish date, all these different columns. You can tailor this to exactly how you want to work with your client. But I don't think you need all of these, but for sake of this, we're going to leave it just the way that it is. What I am going to do is actually delete these assets though, because these are not appropriate for Paul's Pet products. So I'm just going to clear those out by clicking delete. And what I can also do is add another column here. I'll click right here. This will add another column. And this one I will call copy. So this is actually the words that are going to appear underneath the social media post. So right here is the asset. That's what the Instagram image is going to be. And the copy is what the text is going to be underneath the image. All right, so how do we do this really, really quickly? All right, so first thing you want to do is create all the copies. So what we'll do is select this entire column, or let's say we just want to make 10 of these or 8 of these, however many, 6 of these, I should say. We'll select all 6 of these right here. And then you want to click on this button up here that's called Actions. This is the magic button because in here you can do so much with AI. So I'm going to select right here where it says Magic Write. And I'm going to tell it to create copy for 6 different Instagram posts for my client store, which is called Paul's Pet Store. We're trying to get people to come into the store and check it out. And then I'll click on Submit. And you see it just generated 6 different ideas for me right here. So I can read through these and make sure that I like them. If I do, I can just click on Enter or click here where it says Insert. But if I want to change it up, I can click over here where it says This But and tell it exactly what changes I want to make. But I'm pretty happy with this, so I'm going to click on Insert. And you'll notice that it adds the copy in all of these columns right here. All right, so next we need the assets. So I'll do the same thing. I'll select all 6 of these. And now I will click on Actions again, and then click on Magic Write. And this time I'll say, create prompts for me for each of these social media posts that I can use to generate an image that applies to the copy I'm using for the Instagram post. And then I'll click on Submit. And what this is doing is it's creating the prompt that I'm going to then give to Canva's image generator to actually generate the images that I need for each of these Instagram posts. So here they all are. I'm happy with them. So I'm going to click on Insert. And you see we now have the prompts in this column right here. And we have the copy in this column right here. So how do we actually get the images? So all you have to do is, let's say you need the image for this one. You just highlight that cell. And then up here, you see the full text. So I can just copy that. And then I will come over to on the left where it says Magic Media. And then I'll just paste in that prompt and then click on Square because I want this to be a square. and then click on generate images. So here we are, we have 4 different images right here. If I like one of them, all I have to do is drag it in just like this. Takes a second, there we go. Or if I'm not happy with them, I can change up anything I want in here, tell it what changes I want, and click on generate again. And then you'll just do the same thing for all of these. So I'll click on the next cell right here. I'll copy down that prompt. I will then go back here, paste in the new prompt, click on generate images, and then drag in the one that I want. So now I will do that for the rest of them, and I'll show you what to do next. Once you have all the assets that you want to click down here where it says grid view, and then we're gonna click on this add page type. Well, try that again. And this time I will select social media. I will select Instagram post. Let's go ahead and open that up. And we're gonna create a template here. So I'll click on design. Let's say I like this template right here. I'll go ahead and throw that in. And this will be a template for all the social media posts that we just outlined in the social media calendar. So now what you want to do is click down here to grid view. Let's go ahead and open up now the original one, which was the spreadsheet. And now you want to click on the left, or you want to scroll down to where it says bulk create. And it says you have to select a range. So we're going to select these 2 ranges, the assets and the copy. Let's go ahead and select all the ones that we made right there. And then I'll click on continue. Now it says choose your template. We just made the template. So it's right here inside of the social media calendar. You can't see it, but if you click here, you'll see that it immediately pops up. So it says we need to map 2 data fields. Basically, we have to say, hey, the assets, the photos, where do we want those to go? Where we want those to go right here, where this one is. So I clicked on the image. Now I'm going to click where it says connect data up here on the top left. And I'll select assets. So now all the photos are going to be put in here. And then the next thing is the copy. Now the copy we're not actually going to put into the image normally. Normally we're going to save that for underneath the image. But let's say we did want it right here. Well, I can just click on this. I can click on connect data and then copy. So now all that copy will be put in there. And you can even add more columns. So let's say you wanted a title. You could put the title in here as well. So once you have that all in, just click right here where it says create 5 designs. And believe it or not, it's already done. So we have a new column here. It says design. You can click on any of these and actually open it up and take a look at what it looks like. There it is right there. So pretty simple to set up. Once you know how to do it, it goes really, really fast. And the great thing is this looks like you're doing a lot of work. You'll be able to take on multiple clients at once and have all of them paying you every single month for this service. Now, this next one is really simple, but it is very essential for businesses. So they are willing to pay people to help them with this, especially when they're a new business. And what we're going to be doing in here is actually creating an entire branding kit for a new company. So come into Canva and click right here where it says Canva AI. And here you can have it help you with this. So I can say to it, help me come up with the branding colors for a new business called Paul's Pet Shop. And once you click on submit, it'll begin to work and actually create that color scheme for that business. So here it gave me a couple ideas. It said, if you want it to be friendly and playful, we have a bright blue, a sunny yellow, and grass green. If you want natural and trustworthy, there's different colors. But this isn't super helpful without actually being able to see the colors. But it does say, would you like to see these colors or how these colors look together? So I'll say to it, yeah, let's see what the friendly and playful colors look like. All right, so here it actually shows you, there's a few different mock-ups of it. So you can just pick the one that you like that maybe looks the most professional. Like they all honestly look really good, but this one I kind of like right here. So this is one that I could actually save into a folder on my computer for this client and actually give it to them as well. So we like that. We're going to stick with that one. So now I'll come back to the chat and I'll say, let's go ahead and use those colors and let's find a font that complements those colors. So now what we're doing is we're creating a font for this business as well. So once again, we have a bunch of suggestions here and it says, hey, I really think you should go with one of the first 2. So I'll say, I want to see what the first one looks like next to the colors that you picked out for me. And here we go. We can see what the font looks like right here. I really like that. I think it looks good. Obviously they spelled shop wrong. So we're not at that point yet. We're just getting the font down. So I'm very happy with that. And we don't have to send this to the client either. All we're worried about is the font and the color so far, which it seems like we have down. So next thing we want to do is actually create a logo. So I'm going to say to it, let's stick with that font and that color scheme, and using that, let's come up with a logo for this business. Make sure it's a fun, friendly logo. And here's what it came up with for the logos. We have 4 different options right here, which I love because if you don't like 1 or 2 of them, you don't have to keep going back and forth with it, trying to get it to be exactly the way that you want. You just choose one of the ones you like. Now, I actually really like this one right here, but I think for a logo, this one works a little bit better. So kind of on the fence between the 2 of them. I don't know, guys, what do you think in the comment section down below? Which one of these do you like better? Number 1 over here or number 3, or maybe one of the other ones, but I think those 2 are the best. So I'm actually gonna go with this one right here. So I'll open this up. And one of the tricky things about Canva is that you actually, if you wanna use this logo in something else, and we are going to use this in a business card, then you wanna actually download this first, then upload it to Canva AI and say, hey, use this in a business card. So it's a little bit silly that you have to do it that way, but it is a little bit of a workaround that does work. And so what I suggest you do is create business cards for the business as well as flyers for it. So this logo could easily be put onto a flyer, and you can have Canva AI make those for you as well. And the cool thing about this is that we're just going through Canva step by step, asking it to make the colors, the font, the branding, the logo, the business cards, and all of it can be done within this one Canva chatbot. For this next one, let's jump over to Fiverr real quick. I want to show you something. So I search in here for PowerPoint, and you see all these sellers selling PowerPoint creation as a service. And a lot of businesses need this for a variety of reasons, and they want it done professionally. And yes, you can do this pretty lazily with Canva AI. So if we jump over to Canva AI, let's actually do that. So let's say I need a presentation put together to convince people to invest in my business called Paul's Pet Shop. I'm reaching out to various investors in downtown Seattle, and I want them to know what my gross revenue has been for the last 3 years, and that we're looking to expand, and why it's such an amazing investment opportunity. And obviously, if you have more information, which your client will, you'll be able to put all of that in here when you're having Canva actually craft the presentation for you. All right, so let's look at the different presentations. We have, again, 4 of them that were put together, and these are just the start of them. So let's look at this one right here. I can click on this and actually go through each slide. And what I'm basically doing here is making sure that it's a good start, right? It doesn't have the information because I didn't give it in terms of revenue, but if I did, it could have been in there. But overall, I like these slides a lot. I think it's a really good starting point. So what I can then do is click up here on the top right where it says use Canva editor. That will then take the presentation and allow me to change it up. So you see all this text I can change up the font. And another thing I could have done was told it which font to use. So we could have used the one that we made before. I can add more slides. I can duplicate these. So all of this can be changed, but it is a really, really strong starting point. And what I love about Canva AI is that it's really smart. It knows that for a pet shop, you want a very friendly looking presentation. But if this was maybe for a car dealership, the presentation would have looked very different. And Canva AI is aware of that, and it modifies the presentations based on the industry. Now, before we move on to this next lazy method, which is one of my favorites, if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much and lets me know that you appreciate this content, and I'll make more of it for you in the future. All right, let's go to the next one, because like I said, this is one of my favorites. So come back into Canva, and again, we're coming to Canva AI because why not? We're trying to be as lazy as possible. And this time I'm going to tell it, create for me an entire website for my business, Paul's Pet Shop. And what I'll do is I will paste in the colors that we want, or the font first, and then the colors. And then I'll also tell it, make sure to have the website match the friendliness of the colors that we're using and the font as well. And then let's see what it comes up with. All right, so it's done. Let's take a look at what it made for us. I'm always super impressed that it's able to make an entire website for us in just a few minutes. So everything here you can change. So right here, like there's this button that you can barely see because it's like white on white. So I would ask it to change this. And that's really easy to do because you can just use natural language inside this chatbot to tell it to change anything that you want. But a lot of it's just gonna be fine. So we have all these different pets that you can adopt right here. We have all the services like pet grooming, vet care, or pet training. What else do we have? Products that you can purchase. You can see all that right here. And everything works. So I can click on this button right here. That will open up a new page where we can, or actually lower on the page where we can actually get in touch with them. So it automatically scrolls down. We have an email list right here. So everything is here. Everything works. It's a fully functional website. And what's cool about this is that if you like this and you want this for your client, you can click up here on the top where it says use in a design. And we'll click on website. Then you want to click right here again on the top right where it says publish website. And then you can set up a custom domain for this so they can have an actual website URL that points to this website. So it might be like www.paulspetshop.com. Really cool and definitely a great way to build a website very fast for a client. Finally, let's talk about one of the laziest ways to use Canva, which is to sell Canva templates. And the great thing about this is you make these once and you can sell them over and over again. So let's say you have a really nice design that you've put together that you absolutely love and you know other people are gonna love as well. I just threw this one together real fast, but we'll use this as an example. So what you can do is actually turn this into a template that you can then sell. So you'll want to take the design, make sure it's something that you can then sell as a template. So I might change this so that it will say under here, instead of the names, I'll say bride and groom's wedding celebration, and then join us on, instead of September 1st, I'll just put in the word date in there, and then in location, so they know to change that. So you want to do that for anything that has identifying information, just keep it very generic. Once you sort of have the template the way that you want, you can click on the top here where it says share, and then you want to click these three dots right here, and you want to click on template link. And then what you can do is create a template link and actually share that with people who have purchased it. So a lot of people sell these on Etsy, for instance, and you can sell them yourself on there as well, and then share this link when someone buys it from you. Now, there are a few caveats with this. First, you need the pro plan in order to do this. You can't make this on the free plan. Another thing, you have to be really careful what elements you use in here. You cannot come over here to design, choose one of these that are by Canva. We'll just take a look at it right here. And you can't sell this as a template. You also can't just change a little bit. So like I might just change here the font. Let's say I just change it to this. I also can't do that. You don't want to start with one of these templates. You want to start completely from scratch. That way you don't get in trouble and you'll actually be allowed to sell them on Etsy from Canva. So there you go. 5 ways that you can start a business using Canva AI that can end up being such a passive and lazy form of income that it almost feels like cheating. But here's the thing, all of these do require hard work to get set up and running, so don't sleep on it, put in the hard work up front so that you can be lazy in the future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video right here where I cover 7 genius ways that people are using Canva to start other businesses. So definitely check this out. This video has some real hidden gems in it, so click right here and I'll see you over in that video in just 1 second.